Good Tuesday morning, guys. Jerry Miller, welcome to Real Talk. This is an insider's guide to real estate, life, and the pursuit of happiness. It's presented by the Yes Team Realtors. We're live in Charlottesville, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille Network. We have 4 Marines on today's program. A fabulous show lined up for you, courtesy of the executive producer and the distinguished gentleman himself, Keith Smith. Judah Wickhauer is the director. Let's use the studio cam first, please, Judah, and then let's go to the 2-shot of me and Keith. Good morning, my friend. ¿Qué pasa, chico?
¿Qué pasa, man? I'm super pumped about today. You know, anybody who knows a Marine knows today is a super special day to any Marine out there. And one of the things we're going to do today, at the back end of the show, we're going to give away 2 pies,
Ooh.
Right, from the pie chest. But a little bit of a twist on it, right?
Okay.
So the Marine Corps birthday, one of the ceremonies that it's famous for is what they call the cake cutting ceremony.
Okay.
And it's all steeped in all kinds of tradition, and the Corps is all about tradition and core values and all this fun stuff that we're going to talk about with a bunch of Marines. But what the deal on the cake is that the oldest Marine cuts the cake and present and hands the cake off to the youngest Marine.
So is the youngest on today's show?
Well, let me get this out.
James?
We haven't pre-production this thing, so I'm winging it as we're going.
I like how you turned that into a verb. Pre-production into a verb right there. That was good.
That a verb?
You turned it into a verb there.
Is Mona watching? I got to remember my verbs.
Mona Daniel,
adjectives.
we love you on this program.
So what we're going to do here is, fellow Marines, please like and share this out to other fellow Marines that may not be watching. And as we go through the show, we're going to kind of figure out who is the youngest Marine and who is the oldest Marine that's chimed in, and they're going to win a pie from the pie chest.
Whoa, that's going to be hard to do.
No, it's not.
We'll see.
They'll just tell us how old they are.
Give the show a like and a share.
And if that doesn't work, we'll do something else.
Give it a like and a share, and you're in the running for a pie from the pie chest. I'm going to have one for Thanksgiving. He's going to have one for Thanksgiving. Judah's going to have one for Thanksgiving. We gave away pies to Aaron King and Andre Xavier from the pie chest last show.
Yep.
This is it's a $28 pie.
Something like that.
It's a real deal kind of pie.
Oh, man.
We had a slice on Friday's program, and it was like, dude, it was so fresh. Right?
Well, the executive producer forgot about the director, so when the show was over, I ran over and picked up a pie for the...
That was really nice.
Well, look, it's pretty simple. He's the guy.
He's an instrumental part.
He's the guy that makes us look good. It ain't us that make us look good.
Amen, brother. Amen,
So
brother.
is your lovely wife watching?
Lauren is watching. She is watching.
So, Judah, if
hey,
you
Lauren.
wouldn't mind, I don't know. But, Judah... just to that camera, I just wanted to say thank you to Lauren. I showed up on set and had a beautiful thank you card, which Mr. Miller was trying to convince me he went out and bought the card, but I'm assure you that did not happen. I can clearly tell he didn't write it. That's for sure. But because it's got big words. It's got big words.
How about the nice perforated serrated edges right there? Can't you tell I did that? I did that by hand.
I'm super
with
impressed.
tiny scissors.
You know, you lion, you know what. Lauren, thank you so much. That meant the world to us. I'll share this with my lovely better 7/8. So tomorrow is Veterans Day.
Yes.
Right? But we're going to talk a little bit about that later. But what I wanted to first do is call in Scott Morris, because we get this question as realtors all the time about VA loans.
Yes.
Right? Tell me about the process. Tell me how it goes through. So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking to Scott about that, and we'll probably tell a Marine Corps lie or two. And then we're going to bring on Bellamy Brown and James King on the back end to talk a little bit about their Marine Corps birthday experiences.
We got Scott Morris on the line. Judah Wickhauer, I'm letting you know. Keith Smith, we got him here. This guy's got the movie star good looks over here, Keith Smith.
So really, I can't see it. I'm
Scott
seeing the back
Morris.
of
I
it.
mean, he's got the movie star good looks. I saw some photos of him and his family on Facebook. Beautiful family as well. All right, Scott, I'm going to turn this.
Let me tell you something. You can put anything in a set of dress blues and look outstanding. So.
Is that true?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I did.
All right, here you go. I'm going to turn the computer over to Keith here in a moment. Scott, before we do, why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself to everybody before we talk shop? How about a snapshot of you personally, the wife, the kids, the family, all that jazz?
Hey guys, good morning. Thanks for having me on again. I have.
Hey, Marine. We got a little bit of audio issues going on there, buddy.
We got him, Judo. It looks frozen.
Yeah, he looks frozen.
You seeing frozen, Scott? There? Yeah.
Scott, I think we got some Wi-Fi issues going on here.
Yeah, I think we got some Wi-Fi issues. Why don't I try to do, Scott? I'll try to give you a call back over there to see if we can get you on. We got you frozen right now.
Maybe what he could do is he could just call in on audio and we'll show the picture of him.
Yeah, we can totally do that. That's actually a good idea. Do you have, we're going to do this on the fly.
Yeah, sure.
Call, you know what? I don't even know if I have Scott's phone number on my here. Tell me what you like about Scott Morris over there.
Well, other than he's a Marine and he's good looking, yeah, you know, he's awesome. You know, this is gonna be a theme you're gonna hear throughout the day about adapting and overcoming.
We're about to adapt and overcome some Wi-Fi issues
right now.
now.
To overcome some. Well, I think what he can do is he can turn it on and not put his video on and just use his audio.
Yeah, we could try that, or you can ring him on your phone.
Yeah.
Do you want to call him on your phone and put it in front of this mic? And
No,
Judah
let's
can get this
try
mic
the
on?
first thing. Let's try without the audio. If he's listening, call back.
All right,
in
we'll try
with
to
the
do this
audio
here.
without
We'll go
the thing.
strict audio. Do you have the on-screen graphic, Judah?
We're adapting.
All right, so Scott, we got you here. We got an on-screen graphic. There we go. We got an on-screen graphic for your photo as well. All right, so introduce yourself again. Tell us who you are, what you're all about, Scott.
Hey, good morning, guys. Scott Morris. I'm with NFM Lending. Got 3 boys. I've got 2-year-old twins. I've got a 3-month-old infant. My wife is a lovely orthodontist. Runs her own practice. We got a busy household. Former Marine. 4 years in the Marine Corps. Spent 8 years in the Army National Guard. Deployed locally with a group here. From
Here, we're losing you, Scott, buddy.
And that's a little bit about me.
So you're fading in and out of it. Maybe if you can kill the video and just use the audio on it, that might save a little bit of bandwidth on it. Can you hear me, Scott?
I can. Can you hear me?
Got it. Perfect. Much better. Thank you. So the smile, the graphic, the smile. I always forget that your wife is an orthodontist. Now I get it.
He's got great teeth.
Yeah, great teeth. I think that's why she married you, right? It wasn't because you were a Marine.
Yeah. That's right. I look good in photos for her.
Yeah, there you go.
I
might have to give her a phone call. I got a little bit of dental work I need to get going here. So look, I wanted to chat with you a little bit. Just to wish you a happy birthday, brother.
Absolutely.
And spend a little time together and talk about our Marine Corps experiences. But we get a lot of requests about VA loans. So, Judah, if you don't mind putting slide number 2 up, can you just, at a high level, just give us a quick overview of the benefits of a VA loan? I'm a veteran, right? You know, frankly, I've never used it. I never used my VA loan. I can't tell you why, but I've never done it. So I'm in the market to go buy a home. Tell me why I should use a VA loan.
Well, it gives you some protections that you don't get through any other program. Should you go through some kind of difficult time, you have representatives at the VA that you can help contact and help you work through maybe setting up different payment plans and different options to keep you in the home. But outside of that, it allows you to do things that other loan programs just don't. If you were maybe needing some additional funds to close and get those paid from the sellers, they allow you to do things that no other program would. Let's say you had a car payment that you owed $4,000 on, but it was like a $600 a month payment. You could actually get closing costs paid from the seller to use to pay off that car to lower your total debt to income. If you're a veteran who has if you're a disabled veteran and you collect disability from the VA, you could actually have no funding fee. So, and what I mean by funding fee is any government program, whether it be FHA, USDA, or VA, generally charges an amount of money, percentage that they finance into the loan, which helps them insure and protect all these loans. So if you're disabled, that comes off the table.
So hey, Scott, let me stop you right there. So what is the percentage of disabled? Because as you know, I have a percentage disabled. Most people who know me think it should be higher.
What is the percentage? Can I ask you that?
My percentage?
Yeah, you're saying hearing.
Yeah, I'm at 15%, something like that.
Okay.
So
You
what
hear
is that?
well.
Pardon?
You hear well.
I can't hear a word you're saying. I don't have my hearing aid in the other ear. I can't hear a word you're saying. Are you going to be an asshole already?
No, I'm your boy.
So what is the percentage, Scott?
30%.
Gotcha. All right, I got to call the VA. I got to get that up a little bit.
Yes, you do.
My buddy Jerry over here will chime in and say, dude, you might want to look at his brain capacity.
No,
I think he's a little bit more than
that's not true,
15%. So if you're 30% disabled, you don't have to pay the fees. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Cool. I'll let you go. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, no problem. So some other benefits are it allows you to, we can get approvals and fund loans with higher debt-to-income ratios than you could through any other program, whereas a conventional program is going to cap you at 50%, FHA is 55%. With VA, you can, depending on your credit, and you're showing your ability to repay, you can go as high as 60%, and sometimes in very special circumstances above that. Those are a couple of items. There's also the fact that a VA loan will allow you to.
I think we lost you, Scott.
If you.
There we go. I got you.
Sorry, are you there?
We're good.
So with the funding fee, that's something that's financed into the loan. You're not coming out of pocket for that either.
So some of the benefits are, and we have an infographic up on the screen, which you can't see because you're calling in. So we have zero down is an option, right? That's one of the few loans that you can walk in with zero cash down. Correct?
Correct. So that and USDA, but USDA again, this is when the government gives something, they usually take something away, and what that thing is risk. So they have a USDA loan requires a much stricter debt-to-income ratio, whereas a VA loan, you can go as high as we can essentially get you approved for.
So there's fewer closing costs, right, on it. That's the second benefit of it. The third is what you just talked about, better terms. And the last item, let's talk about interest rates, right? The interest rates are pretty rock bottom.
Yeah.
Is there, if I decide to do this, if Mrs. Smith is watching, hope she doesn't, what I'm about ready to say is just for the sake of a talk show.
It's going to be tied to your house, we know.
But if Mr. and Mrs. Smith wish to buy a new home and I use my VA, can I get a better interest rate?
Yes, you're going to have preferred rates because the loan is guaranteed by the government. That means if something were to happen and you were to default, the lender is guaranteed to be reimbursed a portion of those funds.
So what you're saying, though, if I use my VA loan versus a conventional, and I'm trying to get a 5% down payment or something along those lines, there's no private mortgage insurance, no PMI, right? Or am I wrong?
Correct. There's no insurance. No, you're 100% correct about that. And also, if you're looking to refinance and you want to use and you have the ability to use your VA product, you have a couple different options. One allows you to use something called an IRRL, that's an interest rate refinance loan, which is streamlined, so there's no appraisal involved. Am I there?
Yes, sir. I'm listening. IRRL.
Cool.
You're there. You're good.
And then the other option is just a full documentation VA loan where you can actually go to 100% again versus if you're looking to get cash out as opposed to 80% that a conventional loan is going to cap you at. And what I mean by 80%, that's loan to value. So if you have a house that you owe $200,000 on and it's worth $300,000, you can actually go get $95,000 or so. So if you want the closing costs captured, then you can go get all the money if you need it.
So maybe I shouldn't be talking about this in front of a bunch of people. Is that what we're doing on my house?
Kind of, yes.
Got it. Got it. Just checking. Scott's helping us refinance.
I can tell Scott Morris is a good man.
Help refinance our house. I just give him stuff and say, go make it happen.
We're going to talk some broad strokes with him.
Yeah, sure.
Can I throw him a broad strokes?
Sure, go ahead, buddy.
Open-ended. Scott, you ready for this one?
100%.
Where are rates going, baby? How often do you hear this?
Ooh.
Where are rates going 2021? The Fed says they're going to stay firm where they're at for a little while. We saw some signs of them maybe potentially inching up over the last 3 days or so. Where are rates going, Scott?
So those are two different things we're talking about. The Fed rate is not going to move, but you have to keep in mind the Fed rate was 0 or between 0 and 0.25 from 2008 to 2016, and mortgage rates were between 4.5% and 5%. Now, mortgage rates specifically, I said this the last time I was on the show. Once they had a vaccine, you are going to see mortgage rates go up. And what happened? Pfizer released that we have a 90% success vaccine. People moved out of bonds into the market, risk on. As investors come out of bonds, the margin goes up, interest rates go up along with it. Now, going into next year, what you're going to see is one of the only means of fiscal or quantitative easing that the government has left is to buy its own product. So the federal government's going to continue to buy U.S. 10-year bonds and keep interest rates, mortgage interest rates, artificially low. At some point, when the Fed stops buying their own bonds, rates will increase. But for the foreseeable future, look, historically, they're going to be low. Like, even what we saw in the last few days, I mean, rates are still very, very good.
Well, we talk about this all the time. When I bought my first house, it was 18%.
Right.
So, this is historically low stuff. So, what I'm hearing, just to keep it at Marine Corps second grade level, which is offensive to second graders, is
buy.
Buy.
Now's a good time.
Now's a good time to buy.
Yeah.
Now's a good time to buy. It's even better to sell at this point. So, real quickly, to get back to the VA thing, who qualifies for this, and can I use a VA loan to remodel my house? So look, I'm about ready to put my house on the market. Can I get a VA loan to, say, remodel my home and put it on the market? Is such an animal as that?
When you say remodel, let's
say making improvements.
Yes, there are making improvements. Yes, so you can use the funds from a cash out refinance to remodel your home. There are some purchase construction options through VA. Not everyone offers them. And I think that's something you'll see more of going into next year, but it's still probably pretty limited lender to lender. And who's qualified for them? Anyone who has the ability to receive a certificate of eligibility from the VA. Now, typically what that's going to mean is you've got a minimum of 180 days of active duty service time, or we can get something that's called a statement of service from if you're a current National Guard or Reserve member, you may not have a DD-214 that's going to give you the days required. So what you would do is you would contact me. I would say, hey, look, I'm going to need you to reach out to your command, and this is what I need. I need a letter from them that says when you came into service, when your next reenlistment date is, what you plan to do. I would then take that statement of service. I would go to the VA's website. I would submit for an automated certificate of eligibility, and then they may contact you or me or both in order to update some documents. But essentially, I'll go in and get your certificate of eligibility for you. All you have to do is know how to communicate with your command.
So let me ask you a question. Out of all your transactions, how many am a VA this year so far? Round number.
15%.
Wow.
So
I thought it'd be lower.
I thought it'd be higher.
Really?
Yeah, because it's.
I don't think a lot of people know about it.
Well, that's the whole reason we're
doing this.
We're doing this
right.
is because I don't think they know about it, and part of the reason why I dug my heels in so much is because when I got out of the Corps in '86, VA loans sucked, to be perfectly frank. interest rates were high. It was the systems weren't in place. I mean, Scott may be able to answer better than I can, but it just nobody did them. And I think there's a little bit of residual on that. I know on my end of it. I mean, Scott needed, to be exactly perfectly frank about this, the refi that we're doing on our house is exactly fitting this making a home improvements thing, because that's what we're going to do. Our home is 20-something years old. We're going to make some improvements and put solar on it and all this kind of great stuff. And
when's that start?
When is that renovation going to start? Yeah. Scott, when is my loan closing? We had that conversation, soon. Scott and I, at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Scott said soon.
Soon.
Yeah.
Soon. Said it as a true salesperson.
Yeah, I like
soon,
that, Scott.
soon. So, but I think that number should be higher. I mean,
of course. I mean, look at the specs he just outlined. They're amazing.
And that was our intent today. Our intent was to get this out in front of veterans. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. What can they, what can they do? I mean, zero down, right?
How about this question? How many of your clients use this loan product?
I would say about that same 15%. 15, maybe 20, because we push it a little bit harder than most. It's one of the first questions I ask is, hey, are you a vet? And have you used it? Use your certificate, as Scott was saying, on it. So anything else we need to add on this there, Maureen, that we're missing?
That's pretty good.
So should I go get my license so I can sell loans? What do you think, huh?
Yeah,
what do you think? We lose them? We lost them?
I've got a spot for you.
Oh, I love it, Scott. He's got a spot for you.
ABC, man.
Always be closing, Scott. Scott, what do you think is? We'll get you out of here on this. What do you think is 2021 going to look like, man?
Probably a lot like 2020. I mean, there's things that, we're going to open back up, and people are going to go out and be able to do the things that they want to do. But from a real estate standpoint, I mean, I think this year you had a couple different things happen as far as timing goes that have contributed to the inventory problem. First was COVID happened, which means people didn't want other humans in their house. And then interest rates were so great that you had a large majority of people that may have gone ahead and listed their home refinance. And I think as we get through the first 12 months of that, they're going to, transition from, okay, I do have this lower payment, but what could I go get now? Because we're all human. We all want that new shiny thing. So I think as we get through those two things, I'm allowing people back into my house, and hey, what else is there out there for me? We're going to see a lot more activity.
So we talk about this all the time.
Right.
Confidence is going to bring product on the table.
Don't you feel like consumer confidence is at its all-time high right now since COVID? I mean, since COVID. You got the election behind us. You got Pfizer with this 90%er coming out. You got Kroger rolling out the rapid test at the end of this month for $25, results in 15 minutes through a finger prick. I mean, the market is up and down now. Tech stocks up and down right now, but the market, the Dow is.
Well, you're going to see a shift, right?
Because you're going to from stay at home to get back in person.
Absolutely, you're going to see a shift. Some of these, Zooms and all that stuff might. But look, I'm confident that at least our world is changed forever.
You're talking real estate.
I'm talking real estate.
You think so too, Scott?
Yeah, in a lot of ways. But I don't know.
I think this curbside or digital, what are we calling this?
Digital curb appeal.
Digital curb appeal?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going away.
No, definitely not.
It's just not going away. And you got guys like Andre that do some super great Matterport work. I just think it's just not going away. And we've got clients that we're talking to we're seeing it coming from outside the metro areas coming in here, and they're doing such a tremendous, speaking of which, I just got a text from one of them, to look at these things digitally. And they're even the one that just sent me is coming from the other side of the thing. If the agent that is listing it doesn't have it, we're going to try to figure out a way where we can bring our team in, at a certain price point to go ahead and do that, as long as the seller is agreeable to it, so we can send something over over to them. They want to take a look at it before they get here because things are moving so fast.
Did you say that again? You got agents on the other side of the mountain.
No. I got buyers coming from the other side of the country that want to come in.
And you're saying the house does not have...
They want to look at a house that doesn't have a Matterport. So one of my conversations I'm going to have, just give us a second, Scott. One of the conversations we're going to have with the listing agent
is we'll do it for you.
I say, can we do this?
Wow.
Right? We're willing to spend this money to bring Andre in and say, look, if your client doesn't wish to do that, I get it. That's not a problem. We're willing to do this because this happens to be an upper end product, upper end price point,
and they want to see it.
They want to walk through it. We'll spend the money to bring Andre in, but the other side has to agree. That the seller, the owner of the property, has to agree to do that. We'll even give them it. Say, look, use it.
Oh, it's a no-brainer. Why would they say no to that? We got Bellamy coming up. Scott.
Yep.
Let's throw a final word to Scott. Anywhere he wants to go.
Man, I love you, brother. Love you as a Marine. I love you because I've known you for 100 years, and I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. And any Marines out there, happy birthday. Please chime in real quick. We're at our back end of our time together. What is the most PG Marine Corps birthday story you can tell? And maybe not PG. There might be a pie in it. There may be a pie in it, just saying.
Yeah, there could, but I don't know how PG any of those would be either.
Got it.
So I tell you what I missed though is the video wasn't going great. I've got this bright pink shirt on, and it's like my favorite crayon flavor of cotton candy. So I figured that this was a good thing to share with you guys. So.
All right, so we got to add context to that, right? Marines are called crayon eaters.
Yeah.
That's one of our.
I didn't know
that's
that.
one of some of the other services would call us crayon eaters. It's basically out of jealousy, I think. Right? Is that about right, Scott?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, what's not to be jealous of? That's the real question.
So
Scott Morris is bringing the swagger this morning.
Look at
I
that.
love the swagger from Morris this morning.
Scott, thanks, man. Sorry we couldn't get the video to work, but we'll work on that next time around. But the audio worked out perfect. Thanks, man.
You have a good one, Scott.
Happy birthday to you, man.
Thank you, Scott. Scott Morris, boys and girls. We'll go to Bellamy Brown here in a matter of moments. He's A-plus people. Love Scott Morris. How about we I want to get a listing on screen that could be one of the best listings on the market right now. Can we get?
Are we doing some shameless?
Can we get Blue Vista Farm on screen?
Bellamy, I'm sorry, man. He's trying to sell houses. I just want to talk to you.
10 acres, breathtaking panoramic view of the Blue Ridge Mountains in Keswick, Virginia. Dude, this listing is bona fide.
Yeah, this is a good listing.
I mean, it's beautiful.
It's a nice home.
Right?
You should just take a ride out there someday. It's pretty awesome. The views are just killer.
I mean, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome listing.
5,000 plus square feet.
Yep.
5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. You got that on screen? He's got that on screen. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. The Yes Team Realtors have that listing. Absolutely fantastic.
Clearly that the boss lady is the one that made that happen.
I mean, this is it's breathtaking.
Yeah, you have to tour through the house, through the photos and all that stuff. We're working on a 360 on that one too, but you go out there and see the view. If you get like a day like today or a day like yesterday, and just the views are awesome.
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
a hot spot.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I'm going to reach out to Bellamy Brown here. I'm a huge fan of Bellamy Brown.
Maybe we'll send a contract to Bellamy. He'll pick it up.
You going to do that now?
No, I'm not going to do that.
We got Bellamy on the line, Judah Wickower. You see him over there?
Hey there, Marine. Happy birthday, brother. Look at that gorgeous face. Look at that smile. We all need orthodontists. So that's the whole thing.
You guys like joke and stuff.
Well, isn't that what we're supposed to do today? We're supposed to have fun today? No?
Yeah.
You need a second there, Marine? You're all together? You got it together?
Yeah, I was laughing because I was listening to you guys.
Laughing?
I guess there's a delay.
Look at you, man. Look at that smile. Look at that profile.
I mean, hey, God bless
all right.
America.
Look at this. Look what I got over here there, Marine. Look at that. So, hey, we'll start this off, right? We'll do a little Marine Corps history, right? Yeah. Give a class on the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. What do they mean for those that are not Marines?
I failed that.
You failed that? Oh, come on now. What does an Eagle, Globe, and Anchor represent?
Well,
land.
What?
Land. Eagle?
Oh, land, air, and sea.
Land, air, and sea. I don't know, brother. You're not working that pie out so good.
Leave the man alone, Keith.
There's only really one pie that we need to work out, and that's the M16A2.
There you go, brother. Is that what you carried, the A2?
Yeah.
Yeah. The duty I was on, we got to pick whatever we wanted. I preferred a M4 and an 870p shotgun. But
well, I actually got selected for that duty, but my unit wouldn't let me go.
What's up with that? Because he was just too awesome is probably what it was.
Either that or when we first got there, we were told that like if you got something like that, don't plan on leaving. So that could have been like unit policy or whatever.
So what we're talking about is my tour of duty. I was a Marine security guard in the first half of the 80s, and I was attached behind the Iron Curtain at that particular point in time. And it's interesting. The Marine Corps runs about 180,000 people, active duty Marines, plus or minus.
Yeah.
It's the smallest service. I think if you count the Coast Guard, they're in the 40s, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But everybody else is in the 300 to 400,000 range. But the duty that we're talking about, there's only 1,800 Marines, so there's only 1% of the whole thing. And the fact that you were selected for it speaks
volumes.
Speaks volumes.
Yeah.
They didn't cut you loose. I'm sorry to hear that. So tell me, what's today mean to you, brother? What does today mean to you?
Go ahead.
What's today mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, I joined the Corps at 17, right after like a month after college. So, and that was, a month after high school, and that was my way to get to college. But in that space, obviously, learned about leadership and camaraderie and brotherhood and sisterhood, and being willing to put your life on the line for someone else. Should that need arise, and it just, I don't know, and it also instilled a sense of devotion to country. I mean, pushing up sand fleas and everything else. In my view, I think we're almost kind of like the last stand for, carrying our colors, our nation's colors. And I think whether you're fighting in combat or you're trying to maintain democracy on its track, both of those are things that are instilled within us. So for me, it's a great sense of pride, and it's all those things, put together.
So it's. I was thinking about this conversation earlier this morning, and this word diversity is a big word, right? It's something that we're all talking about, and I cannot think of a more diverse organization. You're my brother. Yeah. That's it. You're my brother, and we may not have served together. We may not have. Yeah. I'm going to tear up here in a minute, here, man. We may not have served together, but I know this much. Without even thinking about it, if we needed to go back to back on something, it'd be done. Wouldn't even think twice about it. I would put my life in his hands in a heartbeat, and he would do the same with me. We've met each other, 3 times, 4 times? In person once, I think, right? Yeah. Or twice? Yeah. I'd do that like that. Wouldn't even think twice about it. And, I was thinking about this earlier, other services, you say you join.
Yeah.
Marine Corps, you become a Marine, right?
Absolutely.
You don't join the Marine Corps, you become a Marine. And so, I didn't really have much planned here, man. I just wanted to share some love with fellow brothers and sisters and see what today meant to you. So what's your most PG Marine Corps, and you know what? We can go war if we want. What's your most PG-ish, 13 maybe, Marine Corps birthday story? And please don't make me lose sponsors, okay? Please.
I don't know. I guess I'll keep it G more so.
Cool.
As far as a birthday story, I think it's really at one point where I was I was at law school, and they didn't really have, you had a few Marines around, but they didn't really have a Marine Corps, birthday celebration. And I think when I got there, it was there had been a couple more there, and it was, they had just started it just because we had, more there. And I think, given our history, and looking at them, just starting at that point in time, for me, that was a sense of pride, because again, it's, you become a Marine, you take that everywhere you go, and for an institution that is, I guess, presents itself as, supporting troops and everything, that was, surprising that they had never had that. So, having that there, and then going, and it just brought back, a sense of nostalgia, because I guess I'd been out of the Corps, I don't know, for at least, 15 years at that point. So it's, it was just a really good reminder. And we did the oldest and the youngest, pieces of cake. And that just kind of brought everything back for me. So
you'll find here, we had a Marine on, Scott. He doesn't talk much about it, but Scott does a ton of community and volunteer work. This man here is a freaking...
The definition
of community leader.
Yeah,
community leader.
Bellamy's the man.
We're about ready to bring James King on, and the reason we had to swap, I originally had James on first, and then Bellamy secondly, is because James is on a Zoom call with the Albemarle County tourism, having to rejuvenate this COVID-19 economy around tourism. So, and it's funny, I get this, I call it a volaholic thing, and those who don't know Marines, if you see an issue, I got to go fix it.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. And if I've got the skills to go do it, or at least I think I got the skills to go do it, right? You go ahead and you go ahead and do it. And people don't understand that. And unless you ever wore the title or earned the title of a United States Marine, it is hard to understand. Tell me how being a Marine has helped you travel through this leadership path that you're on.
It's set the foundation. That's part, like learning Marine Corps leadership. It kind of sets the foundation that you take care of your people, and you also, get the mission accomplished. And it also has that tenacity, that never give up, that can-do spirit, that again says, as you just presented, if I don't necessarily have the skills, I think I have the skills. We still have that, and we go out and we get those skills to be able to navigate that. But I think it sets the foundation of, taking care of your people, being persistent, and going and setting that example that's in the highest traditions and in keeping with the Marine Corps.
We love to tell stories, jarheads, right? So a little,
especially you, Keith.
Yeah, I like to talk. Go figure. But most Marines do, right? Yeah. It's pretty hard to shut up a Marine because we're so awesome, right? That's what the problem is.
That's right.
So to put a story to that. So I was in the first half of the '80s, April 1983. Hezbollah drove a truck through the front door of the embassy, not where the 241 Marines were going to kill. And I knew the corporal was a buddy of mine that got killed there. And without actually being physically there and talking, I know in his mind he felt he could stop that truck. He was, I'm going to stop this. Ultimately, you're not going to stop 2,000 pounds of high explosives, but that's the mentality that you have, that you can go ahead. Otherwise, you wouldn't be standing there. You've got to believe this, that you can go.
Absolutely.
You can go do that.
I heard a story about 2 years ago about some Marine. A lady got carjacked, and the guy had a gun, and it was near this Marine recruiting station. And all of a sudden, the Marines take off and dress blues, and the guy's shooting at them, and they they talked to him later, like, weren't you afraid of the bullets? And they had been in Iraq and everything. They were like, no, because most people miss anyway. So it's just like that. You know, you take a bullet or don't. Like, we're going to go out there and
we're going to get it done.
Yeah, exactly.
So as you know, I sit on a couple of affordable housing things, and one of them, somebody was in a particular board meeting, and I'll leave names out of it, and I was told I couldn't do something. I couldn't raise a certain amount of money, which was a huge mistake. And I said, so I literally said this in the board meeting. I said, so how many of you all know Marines at this table? Well, we don't know any Marines. I said, well, guess what? And we went and got it done. We says, full speed ahead, damn the torpedoes, and we made some magic happen. This is the 4 units we built on Nassau Street. We were able to get $240,000 from the city, and I was flat out told that you would never get but 50% of that. And I said, all right, watch me. And that's the ethos, that's the mentality of it that you go through. But, to me, what I loved most about the Corps is the diversity of it. Really, the duty that I was on, we had 5 Marines. We were stuck when nobody was ever going to get us. If what hit the fan, we were on our own, right? Yeah. And I knew that 4 other Marines were there. I didn't care what God they believed in, what color they were, who they loved, who they didn't love, who they voted for. And we didn't care about that. What we cared about was each other. And that we knew that when they were going to come through the door, they were going to, we were not going to make it out alive, but they were going to pay a price.
Yeah.
Pay a price for it. Yeah. So anything else you want to share about your Corps experience, my friend? Because that's all this is about. A little bit of loving on the Corps.
Yeah. Now, one of this, I picked up a picture, I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that?
Look at that.
Yeah. So that's
nice.
General Dunford and Obama. It's 2014. So I was at 6 Marines and briefly was attached to Lieutenant Colonel Dunford's unit. And I think, and along with General Dunford, there was also General Neller, who was a commandant of the Marine Corps, just recently retired, I guess about a year ago. Both of them were 6 Marines commanders, and the leadership example that they set, and that they for all the Marines there is, and I guess this goes back to kind of your leadership question. The leadership example that they set for everyone there is one that I've carried ever since I was 18, 19 year old Marine. So it's just one of those things that as you say, is a strong bond that's been carried throughout the years. We do more with less. We don't take any shit from anyone, and we get the job done. And I think that's regardless of again, whether you're black, white, or whatever, when you get in that mindset and you're locked in, there's nothing that's going to take you out of that. And that's a part that I enjoy about being a Marine as well.
They don't say send in the Army. They say send in the Marines. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Come on now.
Am I right?
Exactly. You're right.
They don't say send in the Navy. They said
still
send
love
in
the
Marines.
Army on this show.
Our little 180,000 active members. Go fix the problem. And that's what they'll do. So last question before I get you off, before we call in another fellow Marine and take some stuff from the thing. If you could go back today, go active duty today, would you do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'd do it in a freaking heartbeat.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even think twice about it. But I wouldn't even think twice about it. And the funny thing is, you know who loves the Marine Corps more than me? My wife.
Yonna.
My wife.
Oh,
yeah. She the very first. Well, I have to keep this a little clean. but let's say I got a happy birthday wish early this morning. Just saying.
I got it.
A nice cup of coffee.
I got a nice
and a nice donut.
I got a nice.
There you go.
I got a little bit.
That's all we need to say.
I got a little bit of breakfast, and I'm in a world of shit as soon as I get home.
The donut and the cup of coffee were very good.
So Bellamy, where's your address? Because I'm moving in with you apparently. Hey Marine, thank you. Hey man, thank you for all you do. Thank you for all your public service.
Yeah, Bellamy, you're awesome, dude.
Thank you.
Hopefully you will we'll put your hat back in the ring.
Yeah, please,
again,
Bellamy.
Hopefully. We'll always.
I'm going to straight up beg you to do that, Bellamy.
I don't think I'm really tied to Civilian Review Board and the Minority Business Commission right now. I don't think I'm going to do anything here locally on the next cycle. I think there's some important work on both of those.
Good for you, man.
For the community at large that I'm dedicated to, and I want to get that done and see that through.
You're on with James,
so
right?
I won't be, doing the city council thing this cycle.
You're on with James, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome dude, huh?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, other than his brother-in-law.
James is watching right now. I love James Watson.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. Brother-in-law right here.
Yeah,
That's what I hear.
Yeah, I constantly try to go out with a drink, and he keeps on turning me down.
No,
so
he doesn't.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I see you two guys together all the time. I'm never there. I'm
James
just
is the
saying.
man.
I'll even buy, and I don't even get invited.
Oh, stop.
So, hey, Marine, thank you for your service. Thank you. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for everything you do. I'm trying to convince this other gentleman here not to run for office. You're spot on. You could do more good on where you're on right now than sitting at that council table. So thank you for all the energy that you put in for all of us, and have a great day, brother.
Thanks. You too. Happy birthday, brother.
Take care, Bellamy. Bellamy, you're A+ people. You have a good one, Bellamy.
You too, boss man.
All right. Love Bellamy Brown. So that was a little bit of news there.
What's that?
From Bellamy about council.
Yeah. I'm not surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
I
think that's the first time kind of on the record that he said that.
It could very well be.
I'm pretty sure it is.
If
he's not going to run next cycle is the news.
If you sit down and have a cup of coffee and a one-on-one conversation with some elected officials, and I've been doing this for 30 some odd years on that end of it, their hands are so tied.
Yeah.
Right? Where what he's doing on the other thing, he can influence. He could be an influencer on that, and he's in the right place to go do. He's bringing his leadership skills and all that great stuff. So James is next.
Yeah, I'm getting James on the line as we speak. James King. In fact, we have him on the line. James Judah is on the line. I'm going to pass him over to Keith. A+ people. First, why don't you start with the poker tournament?
I will, but first I'm going to wish my fellow Marine happy birthday.
Semper Fi, happy birthday.
Is there something wrong with your razor or something there, Marine?
I knew you were going to say that, Keith.
So remind me at the back end of this to tell you my mustache story. I've had this for since 1985.
Yonna's never seen you without it, right?
My wife has never seen me with. Well, no.
Your daughters definitely have not.
My daughters have never. Well, when we first started dating, I didn't have a mustache. It was in early '85, but in '85 But we'll tell the story about
the next bet is about you shaving your stash and not a bottle of bourbon.
I will never shave my stash.
That will not happen.
That will not happen.
Okay, there we go.
And we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
So, Marine, we played poker. You played poker. I walked around and we raised $56,000, didn't we?
We sure did. It was a good time. I honestly wish we had more time to fundraise. I think we could have done even more, and I hope that there's another opportunity to do that in the spring or summer of next year. I think that we had a great group of people out, and it was a really fun event, and I think we raised money for a really great cause. I've heard of a lot of people talk about affordable housing initiatives in the past and hadn't seen a lot of movement on it. So when Susan Steinmart reached out to me to be a part of this, I jumped at the opportunity because I thought it was a great way to see something happen fairly quickly. I think what the Thomas Jefferson Community Land Trust is doing is a great partnership and a way that everyday people in our community can have a big impact for people that don't need a handout but a hand up. And I like the model. I think the 90-year ground lease and being able to be a homeowner and take a lot of pride in that is something that a lot of people want, and the price of land in Albemarle County is incredibly expensive, and a great way to allow people to buy homes and keep the land at a low cost for future homeowners in the area that are working families that live and work in the community that we so enjoy. So I'm really glad we got to participate, and it was great seeing you there the other night. So if that opportunity presents itself in the future, I'll be happy to be a part of it.
Our chemistry working?
Yeah, I mean, get ready for this, James.
Get ready for this, James. It's not going to wait that long, brother. So I'll let you tag it.
No, you tease it with him. You promote it with him.
I'm going to tease him with it.
We're going to tell him about it, the live auction.
So last Friday's show, if you had an opportunity to watch it, Batman, my cohort here, Robin, and I concocted to do a live telethon.
Live auction, 24/7.
Like a Jerry Lewis kind of thing.
Cool.
We were talking $150,000.
Yeah. This is where we got to.
This is where he and I diverge a little bit.
Yeah, James King. This guy wants to raise $400K in 24 hours through a live auction on this network here. Keith Smith and I, we would not get off. We would not get off air for a week. Why don't we do $150K on the first one?
So let the Marines talk, and we'll figure this out.
Okay, $150K on the first one. We could do.
I think
$150K.
Charlottesville is it's an incredibly giving community. I've seen so many opportunities, regardless of what the cause is. People are wanting to give and donate and give back. So nothing's impossible, particularly with the Marine Corps. And I think with your platform, Jerry, I think a lot of good things can happen when you have a good plan and is executed properly, and it's a good cause that a lot of people can get behind. I think it's absolutely doable. So I would shoot for the moon and see what lands. Our fundraising goal is $20,000, and we raised $56,000. So
that's
more
awesome.
than double.
That is awesome.
I think that if it's well planned and well executed, just like in the Marine Corps, amazing things can happen. So
that's the ethos of being a Marine, right there.
Yeah. This is what we need to do. Susan and I need to hash out some systems and some protocols, iron out a plan. Then we'll go talk to the chairman over here, this guy I'm sitting across, and say, this is the approach. And then we bring in our community partners. We could raise six figures for affordable housing.
Then I'll change it at the last minute.
So with you, the 56 that King family and you guys just did with the initiative, if we do just conservatively another $150, that puts us over 200. That's new houses right there, right? Is that new houses?
So the whole story, we're getting off the path of talking about loving on a brother here. But so the land trust has an opportunity that we can produce 16 affordable housings for $400,000.
Okay, so $400,000 and you can get 16 houses.
Yeah.
That's legit.
16 $225,000 townhomes in Albemarle County.
That's legit.
Yeah.
And you got 56 off that 400 already in the bank.
56 is going to another project. So we got to raise for Marine. He's trying to weasel his way out of that.
No, I'm trying to be a business.
Sounds a little bit like Air Force, doesn't it? Maybe, I don't know. So, brother, happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
We'll get off this subject.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. So, PG version, what's your best birthday story?
Oh, I knew this was going to come up. All of my
I told you about it Sunday.
Work.
So do R. We're good.
No, don't do R, James. Don't do R.
That I would say, not really a story, but just my experience. Serving with the Marine Corps was an honor and a privilege. And I got to serve with amazing people from all around the country. Some had PhDs, some had GEDs, some had college degrees. And it's just this amazing slice of American life. And we're all bonded together by this desire to serve our country that we all love. And getting to deploy with them twice, once to Iraq, once to Afghanistan, and being in a leadership position was one of the highlights and honors of my life that I'll never forget. I mean, I think no matter where you are in the world, whether you serve 4 years or 24 years, today's a day we can all, raise a glass and celebrate the birthday of our illustrious Corps. To be a part of the world's most amazing fighting force is no small thing, and it was an honor and a privilege to serve. So I don't have any cool stories. I was a logistics officer.
Oh, come on now.
It was a real amazing thing to travel to other parts of the world. And I would say that when you do any traveling or any service, whether it's military service or community service or you're an elected official, that is the job, is service to others. And I think I hope that more people consider serving. And it doesn't have to be in the Marine Corps. Serving your community, serving at school, serving at work, serving other people is a noble thing. And what it does is it gives you perspective and makes you really value everything that you have. We live in times where, I'm on a phone and I can talk to you all, and you're in town. But when you travel to other places in the world, you realize how much you have and what you take for granted. Running water, security, food every day, all the little things that we just wake up and we just take for granted. When you're in the Marine Corps in particular, you really you value the little things that much more. Sure. And so I'm really happy I served, and the people that I got to serve with were amazing individuals, and I'm happy to share a birthday with them today.
So we talked a little bit with Bellamy, and one of the things I was thinking about is the diversity of the Corps, right? Yeah. And how that ethos and how that thinking depends on what year you went through. In my case, they beat it in you, there is no color, there is no religion. It's the Marine Corps, and you are a Marine, and and that's your title, and you earned that title, and all that. So tell me a little bit about your experience about diversity in the Corps.
Yeah, that's right. You're spot on. I mean, there's no white, black. There's only green. Everyone is branded with the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, and the values of our Corps: honor, courage, commitment. And I had a machine gun in my truck who was Hispanic. I had a communications guy in my truck who was from the Midwest. We had African Americans, we had Native Americans, Southeast Asian. It doesn't matter where you come from. Like when you're in a foxhole getting shot at, or a fighting hole, as I should say, we don't say foxhole, we say fighting hole.
Good job, Marine.
all those things go out the window.
Yeah,
It's all about mission and meeting mission, and all the little things that we complain about today in our society. They really don't have much merit on a battlefield, and it's all about the brother or sister to your left and right, and taking care of them and making sure that they have what they need to be successful. And so I love that the military can take people from all walks of life. I've read stories about people in boot camp. One was in a gang, and one was part of the KKK. And you would think that those people wouldn't get along, but the drill instructor said, we're going to put these two together. And by the end of boot camp, they're brothers. They would take a bullet for one another. That's exactly right. I think that how we're brought up is learned. And places like boot camp, they break you down and they rebuild you into Marines that would fight and die for one another. And you call every Marine a brother and a sister, no matter where they come from or what they look like. And that's the beauty of the Marine Corps, that it takes individual and turns them into a group, a cohesive unit that can accomplish amazing things, both on and off the battlefield. And once they get back home, many of them go on to lead super successful careers and businesses and entrepreneurs and just good community members and citizens of this country. So it was a great experience, and I was super happy to be a part of it.
So the duty that I was on, we didn't have anybody over the rank of staff sergeant. Right, we were 5 or 6 or 7 guys, depending on the embassy that you were at, and and at the age of 19, it amazed me that when I had a U.S. ambassador walk over to a 19-year-old me and ask me my opinion and say, hey, what do I do here now? Right? And, I'm a guy that, for all intents and purposes, shouldn't have graduated high school. Right? I got asked to leave. Right? Here's a diploma, go away. Right? And that's the thing. Once I put that title of Marine, and in my particular case, I went to embassy duty school, and I had that label, I had that name also. All of a sudden, at the age of 19, I became responsible for 450 U.S. souls, the classified material, property and personnel, and in a part of the world and a part of the time that if the proverbial hit the fan, nobody was coming for you. Nobody was coming for you. And you actually thought, I was in the middle, literally, there was Russians all over, Soviet military all over. You actually thought you could hold them off because that's the mentality.
The mentality, Chesty Puller, who was a Marine Corps general, said when they were surrounded, he said, "We're surrounded. That simplifies the problem." I mean, the ethos and the spirit de corps that Marines have is, they'll break down walls to make something happen, and I love that about Marines. If I had the opportunity to hire a Marine or a veteran of any branch,
sure.
I would take that over the civilian because I know they can get things done. You learn things. Discipline, showing up on time, working as a team, those traits and characteristics translate really, really well. And I think those are qualities that any business would really want. So I love that about Marines. I love that about veterans, and I love hanging out with them.
So, brother, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Thank you for doing this. Any opportunity to talk to a fellow brother or sister, happy birthday. Enjoy everything. We're going to try to give away some pieces of pie, or pies, actually, today. How old are you, by the way?
I turned 37 yesterday, actually, so I have 2 back-to-back.
Happy birthday.
Oh, you might have to get a pie out of that. I got to find out how old Bellamy is. Happy birthday, and then happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Happy birthday, Keith.
All right, James, you have a good one, man. Thank you for joining us, James.
Thanks, Jerry. Take care.
All right, take care. Good dude right there. Some comments coming in. I love the theme of today's program. Vanessa Parkhill's got a comment that I think you're going to like, and she may be a pie winner here. Vanessa Parkhill, founded in Tun Tavern. Mm-hmm. The Marines have long been defenders of our great country. Happy 245th birthday to the United States Marine Corps from the Parkhills.
So to put it a little bit in context, the creation of the United States Marine Corps was at a bar.
Yep. That's awesome.
Kind of tells you how it kind of tells you.
Right?
It kind of tells you like it is.
Barbara says, thank you for explaining crayon eaters, and says, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Barbara.
This show was all about celebrating really good guys in this community. All good guys. James Watson. Too much information, though, Keith Smith. That's from James Watson. I concur with you, James Watson.
Trying to have fun.
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy birthday, Keith Smith. Happy birthday, Scott. Happy birthday, James. Happy birthday, Bellamy. From Rick Tambrino.
Hey, Rick. Simplify Marine. Thank you.
Michael
Thank you
Johnson, giving you guys some props as well. I love what you did today.
Yeah. I just wanted to talk a little bit about, if you're out there and you're a vet, there's options. There's VA loan options. Jump on them. Take advantage of them. The market's there. And I just wanted to call in a couple of community leaders and fellow brothers and wish them a happy birthday. And a happy birthday to Rick and any other Marines out there. Happy birthday to you.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Thoughts for Friday's show?
So, actually, I've been doing a bunch of research, and I may not have it ready for Friday, about what a Biden presidency might mean for housing.
Ooh, that's a good topic.
We might not have it done by Friday. We may have to punt that by a week, but I've been digging into all kinds of his policies and proposed policies and how they might impact affordable housing and the overall housing market.
Love it.
I think that's going to be a great thing.
Love it. So a little real estate on the show on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to our sponsors for being a part of the show as well.
The list is long, right? It's everybody from Scott to Roy Wheeler Realty to Pearl Certification to Dairy Central, Dairy Market, MarieBette, right? Gotta love my MarieBette.
Intrastate Pest and Service Companies.
I was going to save that.
Yeah.
I was going to save that for the biggie.
Yeah.
Intrastate Pest and Service, because we talked about that with the VA, because that's kind of who I'm going to reach out once Scott gives me this money, or whoever gives me this money. The VA gives me this money, so we can get some additional work done on the house, bring it up to market. I wanted to tell a quick little story, if we got a minute.
Sure, we got about 90 seconds here.
Talk about my mustache.
Okay.
The reason I won't shave it off, 1985 in San Salvador, the city of San Salvador, 4 of my fellow Marines were killed, and they were on embassy duty down there. And what happened at the time, the Marine Corps, even though we worked directly for the ambassador or for the embassy, we had no direct Marine Corps supervision, but they did not allow us to wear facial hair. So what happened was they were sitting at a bar and they were assassinated. And so I will never, we were allowed to, I've had this on in honor of those guys since 1985, and I will never shave it off.
That's a good story.
We'll never take it off.
Looks good on you.
They were all very dear friends, close friends of mine. So went to school together and went to Marine Corps. But I'm going to get a little choked up here, but I wanted to share that with everybody.
Get us out of here on this note. Today, and it's meaning to you.
You know, what we just did, you know, it's unless you wear the title or earn the title, it's hard to explain it. It's like I said with Bellamy, you know, Rick, James, Bellamy, any of those Marines out there, I know if the proverbial, you know what, hits the wall, I can count on them, and they can count on me. You know, I'm almost 60. I may not be the same guy I was when I was in my 20s, but
you can still get after it.
But I'm gonna be all at it. And I think that's the thing. I think the thing is what I also wanted to share about the Marine Corps, what it means today, is this diversity word. This was really important to me to get that out, because you know, we don't have to be so divisive, and the Marine Corps is an example of that. And and if we can get there, then man, we're doing great. But you know, I love the Corps. I'd join in a heartbeat if I could again. I'll tell you a little story about this.
Please.
So, any other Marines out there that are watching this, if they've had the same dream, and I know a bunch of Marines that have, so every once in a while I have this dream that I get called up, that I missed like a small little thing in Marine Corps boot camp. And at the age of almost 60, I got to go back to boot camp. And I wake up in a cold sweat. So anybody who's ever been through Marine Corps boot camp, once you're done with it, you're done with it. You never have to go back there. But every once in a while, I have these nightmares. I wake up in the middle of the night, somebody's knocking on the door and go, Smith, you owe us 1 hour. That means you got to go back to the beginning. And so that's a true nightmare that I have. And I bet you there's a bunch of Marines out there that have the same dream. So who are we going to give pies out to?
I think Vanessa Parkhill won one.
Okay.
And I'll do the Facebook message with her. She routinely watches the program.
Got it.
She's
I
fantastic.
just need an email.
Sure. And I think the second one we saved till Friday's show.
Okay, cool.
And we spent some more time with the pie. This is Real Talk. It airs Tuesdays and Fridays at 10:15 on the I Love CVille Network. He's Keith Smith of the Yes Team Realtors. Keith and Yonna, A+ people, literally spent an hour and change here highlighting gentlemen in our community that make the community better.
Absolutely.
And Bellamy Brown, Scott Morris, and James King. That's what Keith is all about.
Thank you, Mrs. Miller.
Sure. Thank you for the pie. We're very grateful. Guys, this show is all about approachable topics in an approachable setting, life from a positive perspective, and a can-do attitude. That's what we stand for here. Keith, Judah, I'm Jerry. It's Real Talk. Thank you kindly for joining us. Take care.
Simplify, Marines.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service as well.
Thank you, buddy.
Good job, Judah. I'll do the Facebook message now with Vanessa.